I hope you are all having a good Sunday so far. And welcome to all our participants. Welcome to our instructors. Thank you so much for coming. Actually, for the participants, I shouldn't say thank you because I'm glad you've all made it to this session because I know how beneficial this is going to be at the end of it. So I think you've all made a good decision to come learn under one of the best instructors that I know. I am Shruti Harihara Subramanian and I am the founder of golisodastore.com. And a little bit about Goli Soda and what we are doing now. We are in the last in our series of We Need to Change Things period. Today we are doing a return to regular rhythms, yoga for menstrual health. And Goli Soda uh, is a brand that sustainable brand that we started in 2013. We started as a single store uh, in Chennai, and now we are pan India with our website golisodastore.com. I started Goli Soda out of a total selfish need to have access to sustainable products. But way back in 2013, people thought I was crazy. Many people didn't even understand most of the concept of being eco-friendly or sustainable, very basic things that we now take for granted. So ever since then, we at Goli Soda realized that educating people on sustainability was as important as selling our sustainable products. So ever since then, we've been having many such interactive and interesting events and talks and workshops related to sustainability. We need to change things period is a personal interest that I have taken because of my passion for sustainable menstruation. We've been doing these talks on sustainable menstruation to tell women that it might be a small lifestyle switch, but it is highly beneficial to you and the planet as well. So today's session, Yoga for Menstrual Health, was something that we've been wanting to do for a while because I discovered yoga, especially Basic Acha's tradition. Actually, I was aware of it. I was introduced to it 10 years ago, but never took it as seriously. But 2 years ago, when I found that I was pregnant, I was a student of yoga in this tradition. And I can't tell you how beneficial it was. I had one of the touchwood, the most comfortable pregnancy and a normal delivery. And ever since then, I have been a great evangelist for this type of yoga. And we've got, as I said, one of the best people here to take us through this session on return to regular rhythm. And I feel this is important at a time where we are all discussing about whether to give period leave at work and women suffering. I think all of us have come across and I think most women in our circle of friends would have some issue related to their periods, whether it's period cramping, irregular periods. There's always something we find any of our friends suffering or going through such pain. Is that pain really necessary? I'm sure Sheila and Ravi will tell us how we can get over that, whether how we can have a normal life, whether we really need to take a break on those days, have a comfortable period. And I think it's very, very important for women to feel normal even in those days. And we really thank Ravi and Sheila for doing this for us. A small introduction about Ravi and Sheila. Ravi, Shankar, and Sheila have been on the path of yoga for more than 25 years. They are students of KV Desikachar and have spent a number of years working under him. They continue to teach in the same tradition. That is a style of yoga that is breath-centric, gentle, meditative, and therapeutic. And this is one other reason why I really like this form of yoga, because unlike other physical activities where I've tried out various things that, like most of them, where they say, push yourself, you're in pain, come on, push, it's okay. But the best part when my yoga teacher says, Balikada, it's okay, don't listen to your body, don't push yourself, just follow what your body says. And I love that part of this style of yoga. And of course, the breath and the meditativeness, I think it goes well with my style of, I think for my crazy creative mind, I think it works well for me. So a little bit more about them. Uh, they run Yoga Nidhi, a center for yoga and Vedic chanting out of Chennai. Yoga Nidhi runs residential programs where people come from around the world to immerse themselves in the breath-centric work of asana, pranayama, and dhyana for its therapeutic, meditative, and wellness benefits. Study the philosophy of yoga as taught in the Yoga Sutra and other related texts. Learn the chanting of the Vedas in accordance with the ancient tradition. Get trained as a teacher of yoga. So welcome Ravi and Sheila. And before I pass on the baton to them, a few pointers. This session would go for roughly about an hour. Um Please feel free to put in any questions that you have about any of your personal, any issues that you're facing, or even as the asanas are being taught, feel free to raise your hands. It's going to be a very interactive session, though virtually. So hope you all enjoy, and over to Ravi and Sheila.
Okay.
Thank you, Shruti. We would like to begin with a personal anecdotal story involving my first engagement with yoga. In 1992, I had just married Ravi, and within a few months, he became aware of the migraine headaches that I would frequently get in those days. They were quite intense, and after going through 4 or 5 such episodes, he took me to meet his yoga teacher, Sri TKV Desikachar. And we used to call him as Sir. We would always refer to him as Sir. And he assigned me a teacher, and so began my entry into yoga. Within 3 months of practice, my migraine headaches vanished. And what also vanished along with those headaches was the severe menstrual cramping that I had been experiencing ever since I had entered my teens. And I had not told Desikachar about this, nor had I brought it up with the teacher assigned to me. Only much later did we come to know that one of the possible connections to migraine headaches in women is linked to the menstrual cycle. And when Ravi reported this to Sir, he was not surprised. He explained it by saying that the breath body harmonized asana practice that I was doing had the effect of returning the system back to harmony. And when the system returns to harmony, the different functions of my system, which were in disharmony, was returned back on track. And similar benefits were frequently reported in connection with lowering of the condition of high blood pressure or insomnia, asthma, and many others. And ever since, I have been regular in my practice of yoga and have never had to return to those severe migraine headaches or even painful menstrual cycles. On the occasions when I would let my practice lapse because of work or work-related travel, the problem would return. And I have made it a point to talk about this amazing benefit of yoga practice to women in general and to young girls in particular, and to teach them too. So what is this breath harmonized body work that I did? I will now let Ravi explain that, and then we will follow it up with the practice.
Thanks, Sheila. I think it's already been said. Sir himself has, Sheila quoted, saying that when you harmonize the breath and the body and work with that harmonized kind of condition, the system returns back to normal. Now, what is the connection here? And it's there are many explanations given for this, but the one that I like best is that there is a natural relationship between the breath and the body. So there are three rules of thumb which determine how the body will behave with each breath that you take. And the first rule of thumb, as every child of 5 will know, is that when you inhale, your chest opens out, expands. And when you exhale, it returns back to its regular resting position. So the opening of the chest on inhale and the return of the chest back to its original state on exhale is the first rule of thumb of how the body behaves with the movement. The second is that when you inhale, the spine stiffens and straightens. If you see me now as I inhale, you will see my back lift up. And as you do it, and we will be doing it, you will feel the stiffness in your spine, the contraction of the muscles of your lower back. As you exhale, you will feel those muscles relax. You will feel the spine lose its stiffness and come back into a kind of relaxed state. So the straightening and kind of erectness of the spine, stiffness of the spine on inhale, and the relaxing of it on exhale is the second accompanying natural associated movement of the body with the breath. The third is that when you inhale, the stomach comes forward, the abdominal region comes forward, and this comes forward, and when you exhale, it goes back in. And this happens because beneath the ribs, we have this muscle called the diaphragm, a very important muscle in relation to our breath. And this muscle is a pretty strong muscle. And when you inhale, the ribs will expand not only outward, but downward. And the diaphragm will restrict that downward movement. And so we are naturally designed for the stomach to go out as you inhale, giving space for the diaphragm to go down and allowing the lungs to expand downward, the ribs to expand downward too. When you exhale, the ribs return back up, the diaphragm returns back up, and the stomach goes back in. So the inhale and the stomach comes out, exhale and the stomach goes back in, a very beautiful rhythm which we will also experience in the practice that is going to follow. This forms the third rule of thumb of the association of breath and body. And when we, in the course of an asana practice, do every movement following this natural relationship, following these three rules of thumb, we are working with the body. We are working with how the body is designed to engage in this breath-body kind of action, in this breath-body kind of work. So here's the explanation of how it helps resolve all these various problems and return the system back to normal, is that because the breath, if you do the wrong thing, if you, instead of inhaling as you, instead of opening the chest as you inhale, if you kind of open the chest as you exhale, so I inhale without, and then exhale, and inhale as I return the chest back down, I can voluntarily superimpose my own relationship over and above what is natural. This puts a certain load or stress on the body because we are going against how the body is designed to function. But the stress or load is very minute, very subclinical, hardly perceptible. And however, because the breath is something we do every moment of our lives and all through our lives, enough number of instances of having gone against the grain will lead to this minute subclinical stress which builds up with each against the grain kind of engagement, will build up, will reach a critical mass and will surface in the form of a symptom. It could be high blood pressure, it could be insomnia, it could be disturbed menstrual cycles, it could be digestion. There are a whole range, immune system functioning, a whole range of different things which exhibit themselves and as a result of which the person will be compromised. We see this, and because Desikachar was so famous as a therapeutic teacher, we have had people, thousands of people come through the doors of his institute seeking help from these and various other issues, and all of them had the issue fabulously addressed, if not completely solved, through this breath-body harmonized work. So it's really, because we are going against the system, and of course there are multiple ways in which we can go against the system. If we don't get enough sleep, we are going against how our body is kind of designed to function. If we do not eat the right foods at the right time, we are going against how the body is designed to function. But the breath is one tool that we have with us, that we can work with. And as we have seen through the evidence of all the people who have come to Sir over the years and had their problems resolved, and of course in our own experience we've had numerous people who have come, the problems resolved. There's one little kind of metaphor I'd like to use which explains, which kind of puts this in perspective. If there is a fast flowing river and I jump into that river and I try to swim against the current, for all the work I put, I'm making very little progress. On the other hand, if I turn myself around and swim with the flow of the river with 1/10 of the effort that I earlier put in, I'm making 10 times the progress because I'm going with the flow. So too it is with our body. If we are going against the flow because of certain practices that we do, and if we go with the flow, this stress dissolves and everything becomes relaxed, easy, effortless, and natural. And the breath is one very useful critical tool with which to get back to this harmony and natural flow. So we'll now move on to the practice itself. I will demonstrate each of the sequences once, and then I will do it again. And when I do it again, you can follow me, and then we'll repeat that 3 to 5 times according to each sequence's need, and we will go through the whole practice itself. And this practice is focused on relaxation. This practice is focused on using the breath to return back to our natural flow and natural harmony. And it brings into play these 3 simple rules of thumb, which I will once again be repeating as we do each thing. Which rule is being brought into play, I will be explaining to you. What I also wanted to say was, don't worry about taking notes, because we have a diagrammatic course sheet which we can email to you. We will give you our email and you can write to us and we can send you the course sheet so that you can continue this practice on your own. So relieve yourself of the need to remember each thing, because it will be there in that course sheet, and just engage in the practice, give yourself to the practice and follow as we teach, and go ahead with this. I'll just reposition myself so that get myself to the mat. First, on your mat, stand up, feet little apart, parallel, body erect. 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale 3 times. I'll now demonstrate the first sequence. Please observe, and then when I do it the second time, you can join me in it, as well as the third, fourth, and fifth. Inhale and the arms lift up. Feet remain flat on floor. Join the palms above your head. Stretch the body upward. Exhale, arms back down to sides. Rest breath. We'll do this together. Inhale, raise arms from the sides, join the palms up above the head, stretch upward. Exhale, arms back down to sides. Rest a breath. This action of raising the arms up on inhale and bringing the arms back down on exhale puts into play the opening of the chest on inhale and the closing of the chest on exhale. The raising of the arms facilitates the exaggerated opening of the chest, and of course the return of arms returns it back to normal. We'll do this 4 more times. Inhale, raise arms. Exhale, arms back down. Rest a breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms back down. Rest a breath. Twice more. Inhale, raise arms. Exhale, back down. Rest a breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. Rest a breath. The next sequence, I'll show this and then we can do this together. Take your left foot forward, right foot turned out at about 45 degrees. There will be a gap between your feet. Don't have your feet in one line because that kind of narrows the pace on which you stand. Your balance will be affected. So the left forward, right turned out, and take the foot, left foot a little further out to the left so that you are well balanced. Face front. Inhale and the arms lift up. Once up, hold the breath for a count of 2. 1, 2. Exhale, arms back down to sides. Rest a breath. We'll do it together. Inhale, raise arms. 1, 2. Exhale, arms back down. Rest a breath. Inhale, arms up. 1, 2. Exhale, arms back down to sides. Rest a breath. Inhale, arms up. 1, 2. Exhale, arms back down to sides. Rest a breath. Inhale. 1, 2. Exhale, arms back down. Rest a breath. Inhale, arms up. 1, 2. Exhale, return arms back down to sides. Rest a breath. Bring your feet together. Take the right foot out, left foot turned out. Take the right foot a little further out to the right so that there is a gap, foot to foot. We repeat the same thing 5 times with the right foot forward, and just to remind ourselves that with this action, with this sequence, what we are doing is we are working with the spine, and with the inhale the spine kind of arches back, straightens, stiffens and arches back, and with the exhale the spine returns back to its normal regular position. Inhale, arms up. 1, 2. Exhale, arms back down. Rest a breath. Inhale. 1, 2. exhale, rest a breath, inhale, 1, 2, exhale, rest a breath, 2 more, inhale, raise arms, 1, 2, exhale, return arms back down to sides, rest a breath, last time, inhale, 1, 2, exhale, rest a breath, feet together, rest a few breaths, and as you rest, let me also just tell you one very important part of this practice which we have been doing, which is that after you repeat each time, you take a breath's rest. Though I call it a breath's rest, it doesn't mean that you are tired and therefore you are resting, because many people tell me as they practice, you know what, I'm not tired at all, maybe I can skip the rest. No. The rest is an essential part of the practice, because rest is when the system assimilates and internalizes the benefit of the work that has just preceded it. So we are doing something with each movement, harmonized movement that we engage in, and the benefit of that needs to be internalized and assimilated, and that one breath's rest allows that assimilation to happen. Just like sleep is a very rejuvenative and restorative practice, where your body in that state of deep rest refreshes itself, cleans itself, does many things, internalizes new learning, etc. So too, that principle is applied here too, that we take that breath's rest to internalize and assimilate, and it's a very essential and important part of practice. The third sequence now, I will show this, in fact I'll show it twice, both from a frontal view as well as from a profile view, because it has 2 or 3 steps which I would like you to get right. I will demonstrate it twice and then we can do it together. Feet a little apart, parallel, arms by sides. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms and body down. Feel the stretch. Reach the limit of your stretch. Don't bend the legs. And then just drop the arms. Turn the head in. Complete the exhale. Hold your breath out and swing your arms front and back, loose and easy. 4 to 5 times. Stop the swinging. Inhale, exhale here. Bend the knees, have the knees come out in front of your toes. Hold this for a count of 2, and then as you lift up, keep the legs bent. Straighten the legs only when you are more than halfway up. Exhale, arms back down to sides. I'll show this again. A side view, a profile view. Inhale and the arms lift up. Exhale, arms and body go down. Reach the limit of your stretch and then stop there. Drop the arms, turn the head in, complete the exhale. Hold your breath as you swing the arms front and back, loose and easy. 4 to 5 times. Stop the swinging. Inhale, exhale here. Bend the knees, have them come out in front of the toes. Hold this for a count of 2 and then inhale, lift the body up, straightening legs only when you're more than halfway up. Exhale, arms back down to sides. Rest a breath. And as you would probably have already figured out, this works with the stomach. So when you exhale and go down, the stomach is pressed, and we know that when we exhale, the stomach goes in. And from that pressed in position, when you lift up, the stomach comes back up. So we are engaging with that third rule of thumb, the action of the stomach with the breath. We'll do this together. Inhale, raise arms. Exhale, arms and body down. Feel the stretch, reach its limit, drop the arms, turn the head in, complete exhale. Hold the breath, swing the arms. Stop the swinging. Inhale, exhale in this position. Bend the knees. Hold this bent leg position for a count of 2, and then inhale, lift up, straightening legs after you're halfway up. Exhale, arms back down to sides. Rest a breath. Inhale, raise arms. Exhale, arms and body down. Feel the stretch, reach its limit, drop the arms, turn the head in, complete exhale. Hold the breath as you swing arms front and back, loose and easy, 4 to 5 times. Stop the swinging. Inhale, exhale here. Bend the knees, kind of a half squat. Hold this for a count of 2. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, arms back down to sides. Rest a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Turn the head in, complete exhale. Hold breath as you swing arms front and back, loose and easy. Stop the swinging. Inhale, exhale here. Bend the knees, count of 2, and then inhale up. Exhale, arms back down to sides. Rest a breath. Twice more. Inhale, raise arms. Exhale, arms and body down. Feel the stretch, reach its limit, drop the arms, turn the head in, complete exhale. Hold breath as you swing arms front and back, loose and easy, 4 to 5 times. Stop the swinging. Inhale, exhale here. Bend the knees, 1, 2 count, and then inhale up. Exhale. Rest a breath. Last time. Inhale, raise arms. Exhale, arms and body go down with the legs straight. Reach the limit of your stretch. Stop there. Drop the arms. Turn the head in. Complete exhale. Hold breath as you swing arms front and back, loose and easy, 4 to 5 times. Stop swinging. Inhale, exhale here. Bend the knees. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, arms back down to sides. Rest a few breaths. Then lie down on your back. and allow the feet, keep the feet a little bit apart, allow the feet to fall loose, and your arms you bend so that your palms rest on your stomach. And as you inhale, you will feel with your palms the stomach lift up. As you exhale, you will feel with your palms the stomach go down. So this is the natural rhythm of the stomach with the breath, something that we talked about, one of the 3 rules of thumb, but a really beautiful way in which to uh, get into the flow, get into the rhythm of your body by just observing and slipping into this rhythm of stomach and breath. So on your back, feet apart, feet let loose, arms bent, palms on stomach, and as you inhale, feel your stomach lift up. As you exhale, feel the stomach go down. Continue this for 20 breaths. It is important not to push the stomach out or pull it in. Don't try to maximize the breath. Let it happen on its own. You only observe and slip into this rhythm. When you finish 20 breaths, can sit up. Once you're finished your 20 breaths and seated, I'll proceed to show you the next sequence, which will be in the lying position. I'll show it and demonstrate it, and then we can do it together for 5 repeats. Next one, lying on the back, feet together, arms by sides. Inhale, arms lift up, back over the head. In this position, exhale, feeling your stomach go down, imagining it pressing against your spine, so far down it goes. Inhale, feel your stomach swell up. Exhale, lift the arms up and bring them back to sides. Allow the feet to fall loose, rest a breath. We'll do this together. Lie down on your back, feet together, toes pointing up, arms alongside, palms down. Inhale, raise arms. Exhale, feel the stomach go down. Inhale, feel the stomach swell up. Exhale, arms up and back to sides. Allow the feet to fall loose. Rest a breath. Feet together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale in this position. Feeling the stomach, like I said, imagine it pressing against the spine. Inhale, feel the stomach lift up. Exhale, arms up and back to sides. Feet fall loose, rest a breath. Once again, feet together, toes up. Inhale, arms lift up, back overhead. Exhale, full and complete. Inhale, full and complete. Exhale, arms up and back to sides. Feet fall loose, rest a breath. Two more, feet together, toes up. Inhale, lift arms up, back overhead. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, arms up and back to sides. Feet fall loose, rest a breath. Last time, feet together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, full and complete. Inhale, full and complete. Exhale, arms up and back to sides. Feet fall loose. Rest a breath. And then feet apart, arms bent, palms on stomach. 10 breaths, watching that rhythm of stomach and breath. When you finish 10 breaths, bend your legs, bring your feet into the hip. And in this position, once again, place your palms on stomach and breathe in and out 10 times, watching that same rhythm of stomach and breath. This 10 breaths with the legs bent and feet brought in. Ten breaths done. Now lift your legs up. Have each hand hold each knee. Arms are straight. Just take a moment to look up at the screen and see the position I am in. The legs are lifted up. Each hand holds each knee. The arms are straight. And in this position you stay for 10 breaths. When you finish 10 breaths in this position, pull the legs in, pull the knees in, lock your arms around the knees, squeeze the knees together, hold this tucked in position for 10 breaths. Take a moment to look at the position I'm in and then take that same position, the legs pulled in, the knees pulled in, arms around, and hold this tucked in position for 10 breaths. 10 done. Inhale, release the legs, feet to floor. Exhale, complete cycle. Stretch legs out, feet apart, let loose. Arms bent, palms on stomach. 10 breaths of the stomach watch. Inhale, feel the stomach lift up. Exhale, feel the stomach go down. Over 10 breaths. As you finish your 10 breaths, can sit up. This is the basic foundational breath body harmonized kind of practice that is very simple, very easy to do by anybody, and very, very effective in deeply relaxing the system and allowing it to return back to its natural organic harmony, because we are working with the harmonious flow and the natural association between the body and the breath. There is one more practice that we have been taught by Sir, by Sri Desikachar, which is very, very effective in also relaxing us and bringing our mind to a place of stillness, attention, and quiet, and that is chanting. And so Sheila will now lead us in a simple practice of chanting. You would have to, she will say each line, and you would have to repeat it when she says it the second time. The chant itself is it's from the Upanishads, but it distills that Upanishadic teaching into its very essence. We are made up of 5 different aspects. We are Annam, which is we are made up of the body. We are made up of our breath, which is prana. We are made up of the mind, which is the manas. We are made up of the intellect, which is the buddhi or the vijnanam. And finally, the most essential central aspect of ourselves is ananda or joyousness, which is the quality or nature of the life itself. So we invoke these 5 aspects of who we are and what we are made up of in this chant that Sheila will lead us in, and in that process also achieve an integration of the totality of ourselves according to that model. Sheila, please.
मा अहं मा अहं अहं मा अहं मा मा अहं मा अहं विज्ञानं विज्ञानं मा अहं विज्ञानं मा अहं विज्ञानं मा अहं मा अहं अहं मा अहं मा मा अहं मा अहं आनन्दम् आनन्दम् मा अहं आनन्दम् मा अहं आनन्दम् मा अहं मा अहं अहं मा अहं मा मा अहं मा अहं सर्वं सर्वं अहं सर्वं अहं सर्वं अहं सर्वं अहं सर्वं अहं सर्वं अहं सर्वं
So this is the totality of the practice. Happy to take any questions that might come up. Maybe we'll move closer to the
Like, we've come out of a trance after all the chant and the breath. I hope all of you understood or enjoyed the thing. As Ravi said, we will be sending you a written sheet for you to follow this practice at home. But any of you have any questions, any doubts from what was done now, I'm sure they'll be happy to answer your questions. This feedback, that would also be great because we can't see most of you, so at least know that you
There's
were
a
around.
question that has come up in the comments box, in the chat box, asking whether in the lying rest, when the palms are on the stomach, is it a regular inhale exhale, or whether it is a conscious full and complete inhale exhale, is how I think the question is. And the answer is, it is only a regular inhale exhale. You allow the breath to happen on its own as it naturally does as you lie down in that position with your palms on the stomach. And you only observe. You do not consciously try to maximize the inhale or exhale.
Thank you. I think that was my question. Nandita here. Thank you so much for the session. I've just kept my video off, but the question I wanted to ask was with regards to the regular inhale and exhale. Even while we're standing, and you asked us to do a regular inhale exhale after a
Repeat. Yeah.
what? Is it simply just inhaling and exhaling without any pressure?
Yeah, it is. At that point, it will be according to what your body needs, but it is, you do not consciously have to do a maximum inhale exhale. It is just a pause where you get your, in a sense, breath back, but more importantly, like I said, it is a way, it is a time where you allow the body to internalize and assimilate the benefit of the work that has just preceded. So a simple regular inhale exhale is fine. If you feel the need as a result of having stretched your breath to take a slightly deeper breath, that of course is absolutely fine too.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you, Nitya. We have a question from Nitya. She wanted
Yes.
to know, and I'm sure many girls would also want to know, can this practice be done even during my period?
Can be done in
Even
the
during the period.
Oh, during the period. Well, that again is a factor of how severe and intense the cycle is. For some people, it's very painful, heavy cramping. So, in which case, really, it's perfectly, it's not as if there is no thing that it must be done, irrespective of what condition you are in. Huh? The very most important thing is, like Sri Deskachar would say, is listen to your body. So if you are tired, if you are there's some sort of exhaustion as it is, because we also lead lives which demand things of us, in different ways. And so if we have done something, gone climbing, let's say, a mountain, or climbing this to Tirupati or back, or whatever it is we have done, and our body is affected accordingly the next day as a result of that, we must listen to it and adapt according to that. Never push, force, or strain. Go according to the feedback that your body gives. So yeah, that would be
As I said, that's why I love this practice. I remember earlier I used to do these workouts and my trainer would push me to somewhere and I'd be literally crying, saying, no, I can't. So here it was such a revelation. Every time I used to do something and they said, oh, it's okay. Just if you can't do it, we'll change the asana or just listen to it. That's amazing.
I don't mean to be, like there is something to be said for pushing, but even that should be done intelligently. It's not, you got to listen to your body and accordingly do the right things. Because, yeah, so yeah, not to say that this is the only way, but there is, there is a question here.
Which says, worked for me at least. So yeah, so we have Abhi who's asked, I have been having endometriosis issue and have been having periods for the last 1 month. My gynec is helping me, but I'm bent on helping myself with yoga. How often do you do these practices?
Oh, once a day is, if you can do this once a day, that's absolutely quite enough. Huh? And I see another question, which is, can this also be done in the evening? Yes, it can. It can be done at any time of the day. The important thing is it should be on an empty stomach. So it's either before breakfast, before lunch, or before dinner would be the best time to do this. So it can be done at any time of the day. And for someone who is going through endometriosis, it's definitely useful to do this. And if she can do this, if Abhi can do this once a day, that would be great.
So I think Sharda's question was also similar. Can I practice this on regular basis, including period day or alternate days? So I think you sort of answered.
Yeah. So here's the thing: a practice can be integrated into your schedule of other things that you do also. So many people like to go for a walk. And that's a wonderful thing to do. It's one of the most relaxing and very safe ways in which to get exercise, get fresh air, move yourself away from work, move yourself away from home. You're in a different space, but they have only a limited time. It's got to be either walk or yoga. So in which case, it's perfectly all right to alternate between one and the other. So alternate days is fine. In fact, is also okay to do this. But because it's such a simple practice, it will probably take you, we took, almost an hour, but when you're doing this on your own, it'll take you 15 to 20 minutes. So if you can squeeze in those 15 to 20 minutes daily, that would be the best. But otherwise, alternate is perfectly all right too.
I have a question on behalf of everybody. So each one has a different kind of menstrual issue. So whether it's cramps or some might have heavy bleeding, so you think just these sets would take care of everything to make the period comfortable, or would specific issues need to be
Now,
addressed?
of course, it would be a little, how should I say, it's not fair or not right on my part to say this will solve every problem of yours, huh? What we are doing is, this is the first step you have to take. You have to first listen to your body. You have to return your system back to a certain harmony, and then we can take it forward from there depending on what the situation is. But the amazing thing is, just this one thing alone itself addresses many. We'll have to see it's, and the thing is, each person is different. So it's always on a case-to-case basis that you do this, you see what benefits you have got, and then we build on that as we go along. Sheila, do me a favor, just type in our email ID also. So definitely, in whatever the situation, there would be benefits that are seen, but it is not a magic pill.
So Abhi wants your email ID. I think we'll be sending Ravi and Sheila's email IDs
Oh
to
yeah,
all
here it is. Yeah.
along with a gift coupon from Goli Soda for having participated on this. So you can get in touch with Ravi and Sheila directly if you have more doubts, or if you want to continue the practice further. I'm sure they'll help you out. So we'll send you their email IDs. Don't worry. Jayanti is in charge of that. Any other questions? Any other doubts?
Hi, I just have one more question, Nandita here. Typically, when you're doing the warrior pose, which is something I've done in the past, you're asked to keep it in a straight line. That means both the legs, even though they're stretched out. So here I noticed that we're specifically asked to not keep it in a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to, yeah.
Okay. Now, two things here. One is the reason for not keeping in a straight line. In fact, let me just demo this. So, am I visible on the screen?
Yeah.
So, if I have a kind of a line of the tile in front of me, so if both my feet are in one line, then my hip will tend to sway, and that can be a factor in balance. That is, you're not well balanced. So if the foot goes out a little bit, I am absolutely stable and well balanced. So we didn't do the full warrior, which would mean, which is the Virabhadrasana, where you bend your leg to go forward. Now, when you bend your leg to go forward, it is very important that you have stability, because if you are in one line and your hip is swaying, the tendons on your knee will also get affected correspondingly. So if someone has a problem, if there is a weakness, it can aggravate it. So it's very important to have stability when we are pushing and loading any part of the body, so that there is no distortion or no sway or no disturbance to the work that is happening in that affected area. So, as I would say it, extremely advanced and accomplished practitioners could perhaps try, because they are trying to push themselves to, when the thing becomes easy, you just need something to challenge yourself. But on a regular basis, a feet apart to give yourself stability is very important.
Sure. And do you typically stretch it a lot, or is it just enough so that it doesn't feel stretched?
Now, again, here's the key is listen to your body. Because if, when you, for example, one of the questions which always comes up, which is I think pertinent, I'll just mention that here, is what kind of a stride should I take when I put one foot forward? So if you take a very large stride, then the return back to bringing your feet back together becomes a bit of a challenge, and there might be a bit of a jerk in the process of bringing the foot back. So if, for example, I have one foot here, and then I take the foot and I'm back here. But if I take the foot a large stride forward, in the process of coming back, I might have to jerk. And the key is never jerk. There should be never any jerky movement involved. So anything you do, so for now, it should be according to how your body is reacting to it. So do that and see what the feedback is. If it is negative in terms of excessive force or jerk or instability, you'll have to adjust to ensure that there is, because what is asana? It is defined as sthira sukham asanam. There must be sthairyam, there must be sthiram, which is stability, and there must be sukham, which is ease in the process of doing it. So these two kind of factors will determine for yourself, each person, what, how the thing should be done. If you have a teacher, of course, that's great before you, because then he or she will adjust it. Because sometimes someone who sees from the outside has a perspective which the person doing it himself or herself doesn't have. But in the absence of that, we have to be very careful and listen to our bodies.
Thank you so much. We have a question from Supraja. She
Yep.
says, I have sleeping issues sometimes. Would the chanting before sleep help?
It would, but may I also say that the entire practice, this breath body harmonization, is fabulous for bringing on quality sleep. So there are three things. One is the breath body harmonized practice itself, because let's not forget, as much as it returns every cycle which are within our physiological system back to normal, whether it's the menstrual cycle or whether it is the sleep cycle, it is greatly brought back to what it should be. So the breath body practice is in itself a very good aid to improving quality sleep. Chanting, most definitely so. And in addition to that, even when you are lying in bed, that last practice, well, not the last practice, but when you lie down with the palms on the stomach and watch that rhythm, is a very effective thing to do to help bring on sleep. It gives the mind something to focus on, and it helps in the process. You are also syncing with your body's natural rhythm through this rhythm of body and breath, and that will help bring on sleep. So the practice, the chanting, and independent of that, lying in bed just as you sleep, doing the stomach watch, so to speak, the rise and fall of the stomach with each inhale, exhale, all three will be very effective in helping address the issue of insomnia. Yeah, and yeah, please, as you, and the important thing is to practice. So as you practice, you may, some further questions may arise. Please do write. We'd be happy to address and see if we can give you good answers to your questions as they come, as you do the practice.
I think Shruti has some connectivity problem.
Okay, okay, okay.
Any other questions that anybody else would like to come up with? Yeah, she's back now.
Shruti's back, yeah. Yeah, back again. Yes, I think it looks like we are done with questions. Anything else, Shruti? Do you have anything to say? Question.
No, okay. Supraja said thank you. Sorry, the internet had gone off in between. I disappeared for a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, everybody.
Okay, I think he's having some. Yeah, your video is on, but your voice is coming a bit intermittently.
Breaking up.
Okay, so I'm going to switch off my video.
Okay. I think Abhi had asked for the contact details. It's there in the comments
I
a little
think
earlier.
Shruti is going to be.
Oh, Shruti is
sharing
also
it
going to be
with-
sharing that. So great. Okay, great. So this was wonderful for us. A great opportunity to engage with you.
So,
Thank you, Shruti, for this. And yeah.
Thank you, Ravi and Sheila.
thank you all once again for participating.